flower folks, welcome to Share Inspirations. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you pros and cons of growing hollyhocks. Now, pro number one is the fact that they come in every possible color under the sun except I believe blue that I haven't seen. This one right here is a beautiful dark maroon, almost black. Gorgeous color, and then of course you have your pinks and whites and yellows and so on and so forth. That's pro number one. Any color you can imagine other than I believe blue you can find in these. Pro number two is the fact that they are tall flowers on tall stems that are very sturdy. They don't need to be staked out in the garden, and whenever you're looking to add drama in your arrangements, in your beautiful arrangements, you can come and cut some and arrange that with the rest of the flowers, and it adds a very nice character to your bouquet. Pro number three is the fact that I personally think that the flower, the vase life of it is about 10 to 15 days if taken care of properly. So when the flowers are starting to wilt, like say this one, and you pinch this and you cut the stem, say about right here, you will have this for about 10 to 15 days because all of these buds will continue to open for you, so giving you at the end a very long, nice vase life. So those were the three pros. Now coming to the cons, the number one con that I find, for me at least, is the fact that how much room they take at the bottom. So if you are short on room like I am, and you want to grow on every square inch of your space, you're going to find that they become very bushy at the bottom. So what I have found to do is I just continue to cut the leaves at the bottom so they're not choking out or overshadowing the other plants that are growing around it. If you see, I have a stelby growing right next to it, right underneath it, and the stelby wants shade. Then I have the Virginia, and on this side I have calla lily, and I don't want those plants to be choked out by the hollyhock, so what I do is I would cut the leaves, as you can see, the cuts that I have made, and it continues to grow up top, but I don't want it to bush out other plants and choke them out. That's con number one. Fixable, but there's something to keep an eye on. Con number two, if you live in the South, say Mississippi, Florida, and all the southern states, those areas are very humid, and you're going to run into mildew issues, mildew problems. That's something that it can be prevented by spraying and whatnot, trying to plant in an area where there's good air circulation and so on and so forth. But here in the desert, I don't have that issue because it's very dry and they seem to love it. So anytime you're in any dry area, dry places, they love to grow. You can still grow them in the South. I have seen them grow, again, with mildew problems, but that's just bad leaves. You can take the leaves off, burn them, continue to cut the flowers, and the flowers are fine. That's con number two. The con number three is the fact that you have to give them special treatment when you cut them. So when you cut the stem off, it gives out this gooey, textury white stuff that is going to choke out the stem from for the flowers to drink any water. The way to handle that is when you cut the stem, it's hollow inside. The way I have learned to do it the best way is I char them on my stovetop. I have a gas stovetop, and I char them until they're completely black at the bottom and that gooey stuff stops coming out. And then I put them in water, and I do not recut the stems, because as soon as you recut the stem, then that gooey stuff is going to start leaking again. You don't want that. So that special treatment is just something that kind of makes it an extra step. You can't just cut the flower and plant it. Not planted, but use it in an arrangement. But once you do the right treatment, it will last you about 10 to 15 days. Just wanted to share before I go this beautiful color here on this hollyhock. It looks almost like a hibiscus, but it's not. It's a multicolor hollyhock. Beautiful. I never planted this here. The seeds must have flown over and found their way, because a couple of my neighbors have different colors of them. I only remember planting the pink ones and the maroon ones, and those dark ones over there. Something else to keep in mind, this variety is called Indian Spring Hollyhocks, and they grow the first year but only will have 1 or 2 stems on the flowers or stalks. They will not have a whole bunch of flowers. Some people say that they're biennials. In my experience, they weren't biennials, but they didn't flower as much as they should have. And they definitely are perennials for me. They do keep coming back from root. Of course, I'm going to keep the seeds of this one specifically because of how dark it is. And I know in my seed friend, the exchanges, people are going to want this. So I'm going to keep the seeds. The pink one is more common. Definitely the white one that I showed you earlier, I'm going to keep seeds of that as well. But that is something that is my experience with growing hollyhocks. I do want to hear if you grow them, and if you use them as cut flowers, please share in the comment section below. I would love to hear, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.